What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Medalist, this time with episode 10. Good episode last night, a couple of really great performances from Inori as well as the Pigeon Girl. A few others scattered through the episode as well, but those two being the standard. I think it might have just been those two, to be honest with you. But yeah, fine episode last time. No idea what to expect today. Let me know what you guys think about this one though down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Oh yeah, I think Inori's going to be recovering, isn't she? Because she got shin splints as well as I don't think it was a twisted ankle, but it was sprained ankle, I think. What is this? I'm guessing we've had a bit of a time skip. I did say last week I was actually looking forward to seeing her road to recovery. It's a really interesting and painful kind of time for athletes. It can make or break you, depending on how you recover mentally, physically. Wow. Wow, really? I do remember us saying we're going to see some of his father, little rude blonde kid. I'm going to see some of his dad today. We've had a big time skip here. What the hell? So apologies to pause so quickly. One, again, this is a big time skip, right? They just said one level to go until she can compete against Hikaru, which is crazy. Like, that seems I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you. We've gone from almost just starting to competing against one of the best, and we haven't actually seen that development over a long period of time. We've seen her develop a little bit, but to go from point A to point B like this so quickly and skipping time like this is not a major fan of that, to be honest with you guys. We'll see how that goes, of course. I mean, it's literally just been sprung upon us, but they said she'd done 5. She ended 6th grade and she passed her 5th badge test, so we missed out on 4 times the amount of what we've already seen, which is crazy. that was a lot of missing, if you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I would have really loved to see the recovery. Again, it's a massive part in an athlete's life, recovering from injuries, and again, both physically, mentally. Sometimes might be a bit mentally weaker depending on a certain like muscle and not trusting it, for example. Again, usually as a kid you do grow back stronger, so yeah, bit annoyed honestly at the start of this episode. I did actually want to point out what he said here and get your guys' opinion on this. I think he said she doesn't need you to become a medalist. So in Japanese is I mean, they say Olympian here. Is that kind of meaning the same thing? Like being a top medalist is being an Olympian? I mean, it is, but they again clearly don't say Olympian in Japanese. So if any of you guys can help me out with that, that would be appreciated. It is the kind of meaning there, a medalist as in like a top athlete going to the Olympics and so on. It's not a major point of issue, don't get me wrong, but if you guys could help clear that up, that would again be appreciated. It's got a lot to say, this kid, hasn't he? All but ran from it, hey? He's the biggest thing in her way? How? Jammer. You called him a jammer. Which, yeah, it's like a nuisance. Interesting. Again, I've been looking forward to seeing more of this kid because, like I said, he's been come off quite rude so far. It's weird because he came off really rude when we initially met him. Then he actually came off as quite a good kid. The episode, the next episode after that, he actually came off as a decent little kid. But yeah, he's definitely got a sharp tongue. Bless him. And I wonder why he did bring the comparison to his dad in there. Some kind of history or something. I mean, he clearly knows that this guy is up to no good in some regard or something, right? He said it all but ran off. I kind of forget his backstory, Sukasa's, not Sukasa's coach, Sakura, I think is her name. I can't remember her name, but that girl with the black hair there, her coach, I think he was like a top Olympian skater, right? So why would he run away? Was he struggling to perform at his same level? Was he struggling to keep up or something? That tends to happen. Obviously, if you look at Olympians' kind of records throughout time, the further time marches on, the more the records get broke. If that makes sense, you'll see a lot of world records are from kind of recent years, and yeah, just natural human evolution. Yeah, I can't help but really not like the fact that we haven't seen so much of her journey. The boss. How bad those? No matter how hard you try a specific thing, it just can't be done. Then you see people do it so easily, it really gets to you. And this guy can do this thing that I've been practicing hours for without any effort, whereas I put so much effort in and can't even get close. Okay. Echo Chan. I don't know. Meeting with these guys? So he's an Olympian as well. Okay. Silver placed. Right, there's a lot of Olympians in one place here, isn't there? The popular spot. Really? Hmm. I see. I think. I mean, yeah, he's definitely. Again, it's a shame we haven't seen any of it, but he's definitely proven himself to be a good coach. Maybe I'm overreaching there. We've not seen any of it. We've seen some of it, but we've fucking skipped so much. I'm really annoyed at that, to be honest. Just feels lazy. I don't know about you guys. What was I watched? Oh yeah, One Piece. I was kind of relating to One Piece a little bit. I mean, I'm a big fan of One Piece, but I recently just went for the time skip of One Piece, and it feels like it's constructed just so our main cast can hire at their power levels, so that can move the plot along. If that makes sense. Yeah, it just kind of felt like that. I mean, there was like, it's been a while since I did watch time skip, to be honest with you, but again, it felt convenient that the time skip really helped kind of power up our main cast so that they could continue the story. And this feels the same. It feels like we've skipped a bunch of time so we can continue a plot from a kind of different point, and it just doesn't feel organic. Just like from such an interesting position we were in at the end of the last episode, and Ori being injured to now, however many months later. It's just again, I don't want to keep complaining, but I'm not a fan of this time skip. To be honest, looking back, I'm not really a fan of many time skips. Thinking about it, it just feels like an easy way for a writer to get out of the situation they put themselves in. I definitely didn't expect this to happen, man. What did that just say? This is yeah, this is totally unexpected. She's now gonna have to work with the little rude boy. I was again, I was a little bit concerned about this, adding a potentially chaotic elements or something that's seemingly going so well. Oh, I was gonna say, well, at least fucking changed up his toe. No, he didn't. He didn't do that to Inori. But as much as it might be slightly negative, there is the positive of him being pretty experienced. I think this kid. Oh, he's the same level as us. He might be able to help with a few things, as we're seeing here. Everybody's, even if someone's lower rated than you at anything, they can still give you advice and help you out in certain things. You should never write off someone's opinion just because they're seemingly lower than you in something. He's got his dad's ankles. Never heard that one. Well, that kid over there, he's got his dad's ankles. There is that thing though with the Asian people and their ankles, isn't there? Asian people can do this thing where they like squat to like a ridiculous degree, and it's really hard for other ethnicities to do. They separate it at such an early age. They're boys and girls. I mean, to be fair, we haven't seen any boys competing with girls so far. That's interesting. They split up from young. I mean, who am I to say what's right or wrong? But in football, I think you get split about age 10 or 11. I don't really know because I didn't start playing football until I was like 12 or 13. But I think it's actually quite late that you kind of split away from girls and boys together playing football. And this might also be the case. Like Sukasa's a fantastic coach, but not even great coaches might not gel with their disciples. Looks like he's enjoyed it though. This is kind of sad, honestly, seeing his reaction like this though. But yeah, as I was saying, I mean, I think these guys are probably going to get along. But like I said, even great coaches have not got along with certain people. Some people just don't get vibe together and such. And what is it that you know? What is the deal? Then do it. So this reminds me of fucking Nov from Hunter x Hunter, where he feels that aura and he starts getting grey hair. It's honestly quite similar. I also do think another thing about coaching, again, sorry to pause, but another thing about coaching, as much as great coaches might not go along with great players, there's also the fact that I don't think you ever, like, again, in football, you see a lot of ex players become coaches, and that is no guarantee to how good a coach you'll be. I've seen some of the top players ever become coaches and absolutely fail and be a miserable kind of coach and manager. So yeah, having a good background is obviously a good thing, but it doesn't mean that you'll be a good coach. And the opposite is true as well, as we see with Sukasa. I mean, he never got to anything major. I don't think he was a good ice dancer. But just because he didn't achieve as much as these other coaches doesn't mean he's any worse. From what we've seen, he's the best coach we've seen in the series, in my opinion. You get those different types of coaches as well, being like either like a personal motivator, or a teacher. Like there's certain kind of styles that you do, that you can do as a coach, and Tsukasa very much is a really personal coach. So a lot of managers you'll see kind of keep things at an arm's length, but I usually the most powerful kind of relationships are almost like kind of son daughter, almost like yeah, super personal, and yeah, you know, he's gonna get pissed off, isn't she? Defend him, Inori. He deserves it. He's been so great. Yes. Get him. But yeah, I mean, you can see it between these coaches, can't you? Like um the black-haired girl's coach is super impersonal, super logical, and at an arm's length. Totally different style to Tsukasa. Get him. Go anywhere. She has. She's just taken it a totally different way than you. She makes that kind of rise her up. She uses that as motivation. She wants to reach that level. She wants to compete with that. Whereas he's kind of scared by that. He's intimidated by the talent. Again, they've taken it two different totally ways, haven't they? I worded that horribly. Two totally different ways. So I better say that. See, again, when I play football, I always think that I play better when I'm playing against better opponents. I like playing people that are better than me. I like playing at higher levels because it really tests you. Yeah, you're just absolutely dissing him. Yeah. Charming kid, isn't he? Really? You didn't see that? How did? Oh, at the current pace, we're going to be skipping another few months, and we'll end up being there. Ino Splinto. And I find stuff like that crazy. It's just English. Chino Splinto. Like I said, as much as I like that kid is rude, you can see where he's coming from, can't you? Again, as much as I say I like a challenge, I've obviously been intimidated by people that are better than me in sports and such as well. He's just like, he's proper to the extreme of it. He's proper like a doomer, isn't he? She can do it without the skates. Ah, MIDI intensive. That sounds a bit contradictory, doesn't it? Mini intensive. You know what? Good job in Ori. Good defense to there. I love that from her, actually. Just going back at him, not just taking it, not just taking his bullshit. Like I said, I feel like that's the benefits of having such a personal relationship with your trainer, that you're not just, I've mentioned this before, but you're not just working for them. You're not just working for yourself, but you're working for your coach as well. You've got their pride on your shoulders. You actually care about how they are and what people might think of them if you do bad or do well. And seeing her defend him like that is just, that comes with it, doesn't it? You do anything. It kind of reminds me of Jose Mourinho. He was a football coach. He usually has such a deep relationship with his players that a lot of them call him dad, and he's almost like a god to them. They defend him. They do anything for him. Like not kill people, but they'd kill people on the pitch. If you know what I'm saying, they'd break people. They would kill for the guy. It's such an intense relationship, and that's why he's one of the top coaches. Don't get me wrong, this is not that intense, but it's similar in a sense. That's why I was thinking it's not really a great decision taking this kid on, because he's so opposite. It's probably because he's never had a coach that has been so, yeah, as that has coached the way Tsukasa has. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I'm really not a fan of the start of this episode. I mean, I know we had the injury, and they probably just wanted to avoid having that kind of well, maybe a bit would have been boring kind of segment with her being injured and not seeing any ice skating. I feel like that's almost the same for like a few action series. Like some action series are scared to have an episode without any action in, so there's just like a couple minutes in there. So a completely character and plot focused episode. Then there's a couple minutes of fighting just because they have to add some fighting in because it's the fighting anime. I feel like this is kind of similar. Like I said, I would have, again, I think it's so fascinating seeing a road to recovery and like rehabilitation. It's such a fascinating part of any sports. It's a major shame we didn't get to see any of that, and we just completely skipped over it, as well as skipping over a bunch of ribbons and such for in Ori. So yeah, bit of a shame, but that really wasn't the that was a bit of a focus towards the end of the episode, but most of the focus was towards this Rio kid who again, he's got a few issues psychologically, which I think in sports physicality is obviously a major thing, but I think the most important thing is your psyche and your thought process to stuff. If you're low on confidence, if you've got the mind process of him that he'll never beat black haired girls whose name I always forget, so apologies, but if he's got the same process towards her, he's never going to make it. He is never going to beat her ever if he keeps thinking like that. You need to, yeah, he's defeated mentally. So he needs to get past that, and he's still young, so he definitely can. But it's weird seeing this at such a young age. You usually don't see that kind of thought process in kids. It usually is a bit more kind of optimistic and quite a bit more like in Ori. But so it's really interesting because he definitely seems really adult, but in some of his other reactions, like the kind of shouting contest with Nori, he's like a weird adult kid at times, and then at other times he's absolutely juvenile. So it's quite funny, and he should be juvenile because he's a bloody kid. But yeah, interesting stuff here. As much as I didn't like the time skip, it was a pretty good episode otherwise. Do let me know, guys, to think about this one though down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 11.